Welcome back to the garage. Been a couple of days since I did any filming. Had some stuff come up. Had to go down to Charleston and rescue the parents. They went down there for a wedding, and the Explorer decided that would be the best time ever to overheat and for the radiator to blow out at the bottom. So loaded up the truck and rolled out there real early in the morning and didn't take the camera. I was sleepy and in kind of damage control mode, I guess, trying to get that situated and either that fixed or pull the tag off of it and leave it, whatever. Either way, go and make sure they got home fine. So did that. Like I said, didn't bring the camera because that's just not my first instinct to film things, even though it would have been a pretty cool little roadside adventure, or rather I guess hotel parking lot radiator replacement adventure, and 4+ hour ride each way. But anyway, I did make some progress getting the fender mounted on the 48 on the passenger side, which was the problem side because of the air conditioning. And then I got kind of carried away and just started zip tying parts on. Yeah, it's that old fiberglass grill, but you know, I don't care if it gets damaged. So I wanted, and it's the exact, I checked it, it's the exact same size as the real one I picked up. So I figured if anything happens that I'm cool with it, but it's also a perfect mock-up piece, and everything's just kind of on there with hopes and dreams and zip ties and jack stands. So but that's pretty much what she'll look like, which is good because it looks like a 48, so it means I've done something at least half right. Everything's sitting kind of, sort of. I don't mind this huge gap. It's because some things I have to cut that aren't really a big deal. It'll fit better. I just wanted to put it up here and see. I just wanted to see how things were going to fit. Like, I wanted to make sure that this fender was at least in the ballpark of where it needed to be on the car, and it's pretty damn close. Like you can see, I need to come about, that's about an inch down and over about a ½ an inch, and then this should kind of take care of itself within reason. And you have to remember, I'm not going for concourse, obviously, and I'm also not going for perfect fitment. I'm going for good enough. I'm going for no huge obvious gaps. And that's about it, really, to be honest with you. No huge gaps and nothing falling off. That's all I'm going for. The only real problem I'm running into, and this is a heck of a problem, is back here. You can see I whittled the bejesus out of the, what is it, the squirrel cage area of the air conditioner. And I realized, you know, this is a problem, and it could be solved by an under dash unit, but I am not doing that. I love my dash vents. This thing, I finally got it tagged and insured, and I've been driving it, obviously not with this fender on it, but without the fenders, and been driving it around the neighborhood and went and got it aligned, so the whole front end is new. Once I replaced that, I went and got it aligned and drove it around. Put like 50 miles on it. As this train wreck, I did put headlights and turn signals in the front, so it was mostly legal. So, it rides great. I'm really excited. Well, it rides like a Ranger, so that's pretty exciting. But the air conditioning, I recharged it just to be sure, checked it all. It is frosty cold, blows hard through the vents, and I am not willing to not have that. I don't want an under dash unit, which is why I kept this whole dash. Oh, hey, check it out. I got the well, it's not the right mirror. It's a universal mirror that was in it when I got it, and it was free, and it's a mirror. So I bolted it back. One day I'll get a real one, but for right now, hey, rearview mirror. And I got the trim in. How exciting. I'm very happy with it. It looks great. Really, really finishes that off really nicely. Now, of course, you have all of this mess. And I'm going to figure something out for that. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'll put something cool in there. And then a bunch of foam behind it to seal it up. And then, yes, you have these holes, but that's about it. I did finally get around to finishing the back, so There goes the bumper. So there goes that. That's all sealed in. The floor's a floor. Trunk's all done. It's very exciting. Poor bumper. Like I said, hopes and dreams is what it was up there for. Apparently all it took was the seat getting kicked forward to knock the bumper off. So just to put into perspective why, again, I'm doing this, other than I'm cheap and broke and had this stuff and wanted to drive this car with all these amenities, I was able to completely rebuild and align the entire front end of this car, replace the brakes and all shocks on all four corners for about the same amount of money a front set of shocks would have cost on the 48. So if you're wondering if this is a good idea, yes. If you're wondering if you should do this, absolutely. In fact, if you are wanting to do this, but are, afraid to do so, or maybe not afraid, but, not sure if it's something you can undertake, or if you don't know if you have the tools or the skills, you do. If I can do it, you can absolutely do it. You don't need any real special tools. Maybe you drop a couple $100 on a shear, like I have to cut metal and a bender from Harbor Freight, because you're not a professional, so their DIY quality level stuff is perfect. If you don't make your living on a daily basis using those tools, they are perfect. They will last you a lifetime if you even marginally maintain them and just do this kind of work. If you're a hobbyist, they're perfect. They will do exactly what you need them to do every time you need to do it. But if this is something you want to do, you should absolutely do it. Don't let fear or thinking you don't have the tools or the knowledge or the skills to pull this off hold you back. You can do this. And if you don't have the skills, well, that's fine. No one did when they started. And like I said, if you're doing this, please ask me questions, comments. I have an email that's I think it's on YouTube. It's the myrustlife@yahoo. Send me if you don't want to put a comment, you want to have a not put it in the comments, that's fine. Send me an email. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Comments, I try to stay all over those too, because I don't have many, because there's only 2 people watching this, and one of them is me. But yeah, if you have questions, or if you don't feel like you can do this, reach out to me. I assure you, you can do this, and I would be happy to help you do it. I love doing this stuff, and I've never enjoyed a project more than putting the body on this frame. So I need to go ahead and get this thing on the road finished, and I just can't wait to see it with the real grill that I got in it and the fender skirts. And I want to spray it clear so it's shiny-ish. Anyway, let me let you go. That's all I got for now. Thanks for joining me in the driveway here. When I get something else going, I'll bring you back. Alright, welcome back to the driveway. Today we got to start on passenger side shenanigans. Sorry about the sun, it's really bright today. Cold, but bright. So here's the cutting on the passenger side. Pretty severe. This is still a problem, but we'll eventually figure it out. Here's where I had to cut the fenders. Not too bad. It's still a good amount of structure. Like, it's moves, but not a terrible amount. Good enough. So eventually I'll start filling all these holes in. I got the front end just kind of half bolted on, just so I can kind of cruise it around the neighborhood and have turn signals and stuff. Be relatively legal. And on the passenger side here, we got all the cutting I got to do. It's a fair amount again. We run into this main power distribution box, which is a bit of a problem. It's got to come down a bit, to say the least. And then this, which I think is part of the ABS system, it's got to move too, right here. It's got to move down. That shouldn't be too bad. 13mm bolts on ABS, 10 millimeter on the power distribution box. Daytime running lights, could care less about. I already pulled the fuse out of those. I don't want this thing having daytime running lights. I don't like them. So it's not going to have them. I might just cut that out altogether. I don't know. But hopefully the battery will be able to stay without having to do too much to it. I don't really want to lower it, but we'll see. Right now though, I got a ton of cutting I got to do once I move this box. I got it loose, but I need to go ahead and take the battery loose, because I don't like doing any electrical moving with the battery connected. Don't need to cause any more problems for myself than I already got. So anyway, let me go ahead and get a little cutting done, and I'll bring you back. Alright, it's been a couple hours. Keep getting distracted, but got the fender cut out, or rather the Ranger cut out. A lot of cutting, if you can tell the difference. A lot has to go. I'm going to have to take this and weld it together so it's a little more secure and stable. Still pretty strong though. Like, you can't move any of this, because luckily there's mounts down here that tie the radiator supports. You could technically cut these out altogether, and this would still all stand. It'd be fine. But ton of cutting. Had to lower this a little bit, and the fuse panel, not ideal. That's what you call impossible to get to with the fender on, so that's problematic. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. It's mounted. I got a bolt through it into the old thing, the old mounting bracket, but ooh, it's ugly. It is impossible to get to, so I don't know what to do about that. I got to take the wiper stuff out, get it out of the way. But just took it and drove it. Luckily everything still works. No wiring was harmed, so that's good. Everything was just kind of moved around, and I bent the brake line a little bit, but you know, it's not a big deal, just to make sure everything cleared, but nothing kinked. Everything's golden, so we're good. And that is the huge amount of cutting that has to be done to do this. This side is not even cut all the way yet. Neither is this technically. It's going to have to come in a little more there on the side right here, right there, to clear the hood. Not a lot, but some. I just got tired. So, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for the night, get into some other kind of trouble. Oh, here's the other cut for the headlight on the 48, so that the bucket's clear. But yeah, everything still works. Put this grill back on, all the lights still work, brakes work. Went through a full systems check, put the OBD2 reader on it, no codes, so we're good. Successful cut. Alright.